What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Sett is the newest champion about to be released by Riot Games for League of Legends. He's going to be coming out in patch 10.1, the very first patch of Season 10. We assume a few days into the new patch. That's usually what they've been doing for the new champions recently. He's a lot easier, a lot more simple than a lot of the new champions they've been releasing the last couple champions that they've put out. So he's going to be a guy that you shouldn't be afraid to kind of try and pick up and play right away. He's also probably going to be pretty strong on release. Riot always has a thing where they like to make their champions pretty strong when they first come out, sometime early in their life cycle. So you can gain an edge up on the competition by learning Sett very early on in Season 10. That's why I'm trying something new today. I'm on PB. I hopped on here to try and learn as much about Sett as I can. I've been playing him recently, and I've been in the PvE trying out a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different combos, builds, all that great stuff. So once Sett hits live, I can be ready to perform my best with them and really abuse the strength of a new champion coming out, since people won't know how to play against him. And if we can learn about him now, we'll have a leg up. And I want to help you guys out too, so you are ready to abuse Sett in Season 10. So first, we're just going to be reading all of his kind of abilities and stuff, just because when you're picking up a new champion, you need to know everything about them. You need to read all their abilities and stuff. So we'll run through that all real quick. His passive, Sett's passive is Pit Grit, Heavy Hands. He does a basic attack that alternates between a left punch and a right punch, always opening with a left punch, and the attack speed increases the speed of both punches. The left punch is a normal damage, normal auto attack, and the right punch comes out faster and deals bonus damage. And with the Heart of the Half Beast, Sett gains 0.25 additional health regeneration for each 5% of missing health. So we're going to see what that looks like in action. First, we're going to spawn an enemy dummy, and you can see here Sett's first auto attack is going to be a left punch, and then the right punch comes much faster, and then we wait again for another left punch. This is obviously really great. It helps him stack Conquer really easily, since he's able to get 2 auto attacks off fast, but it's also something you need to be mindful of, knowing that you can get that second auto attack off faster. So instead of just trading with one auto and backing off like most people would do, waiting to get that second auto in, because in trades you're going to be able to get 2 autos out before the other person is able to get their second auto out, so you can win trades just from getting another auto in like that. And then back into his other abilities, his Q, Knuckle Down. Sett itches for a fight, gaining 30% movement speed for a second and a half while moving towards enemy champions. So it's kind of like Ghost and Righteous Glory, stuff like that, in the sense that when you're moving towards enemy champions, you're getting that movement speed. Sett's next 2 basic auto attacks deal 10% bonus physical damage plus 1.8% of the target's maximum health. So that is also really great. It's a really awesome ability. We can see that. Here you see him moving his normal speed, and then he gets a speed boost and then is able to start hitting people really hard. So that's great to know that ability as well. Next, we need to level up a little bit. We're going to take it all the way to level 6. Sett's W, Haymaker. Sett stores 100% of damage taken as Grit to a cap of 484, 50% of Sett's max health. Grit decays quickly 4 seconds after the damage was taken. Sett winds up a giant punch in direction, expending all Grit to deal 90 plus 26% of expended Grit as true damage to all enemies in the center line. Enemies not in the center line take physical damage instead, and Sett gains a rapidly decaying shield equal to Grit expended for 3 seconds. Alright, so we're going to take a look at what all that stuff means. We're going to break that down for you in simpler terms. The W, here it is, shoots out this skill shot like that. And again, if they are in this middle line, I need to auto refresh cooldowns. If they're in this middle line, they're going to take true damage. If they're outside of that middle line, they are just going to take regular physical damage. I'm also going to teleport over to a tower to show you guys what the Grit looks like. As I start to take damage, you can see that Grit bar charging up. The more damage you take, the more Grit bar you're going to acquire, and that is going to increase the damage for your W. So that's really important. Definitely something to keep in mind. Next up, Sett's E, Facebreaker. Sett smashes enemies on either side of him into each other, dealing 50 physical damage and slowing them by 50% for half a second. If Sett grabbed at least one enemy on each side of his E, all enemies are stunned for 1 second. So that is something, this is one of Sett's most important abilities. This is what sets up all of his combos. As you can see here, if we E, the dummy gets hit and now he is slowed, but if we set up another enemy dummy on the other side of us, once they get hit into each other, they get stunned. So they get brought in, they get stunned, and then they are still slowed after. And the great thing about this is that even if you hit them into a minion, like if there's a minion over here, even if I hit this guy into a minion, he still gets stunned. So when it says enemies, it doesn't just mean enemy champions, it means anything on the enemy team. So this is really great at setting up massive combos for Sett. And then finally, his ultimate ability, the Showstopper. Sett grabs an enemy champion, carries them forward, slams them into the ground. All enemies near the impact take physical damage and are slowed by 99% for a second and a half. That's insane. They're like barely even moving. Enemies take less damage the further they are from where Sett lands, so it's going to be important to get that into the middle of team fights. Here's what that looks like. Sett's ultimate, the Showstopper. You pick them up, they get CC'd, and they get slammed into their whole team. That's going to be really great for picking somebody up on the front line messing up the enemy team's composition and setup, taking him all the way to the back line and slamming it onto the back line. And then getting that 99% slow into the back line is going to help your team win fights so much, and that is crazy. So then next, now that we've taken a look at his abilities and everything, I wanted to go over a couple of the regular combos that you're going to be doing in lane. A lot of things are going to be set up by your E. If you are able to walk up, hit the enemy, stun them, hopefully you can get them into minions or something. But a very staple combo is going to just be setting up your W with your E, getting that charged up, and using your E to either slow them or stun them to land that true damage of your W. If you get them with your E, there's almost no way you can miss your W, and you're going to be landing that true damage all the time. That's going to be really important. And then after that, you know, you're able to start autoing. You can get your Q off, get those right-left punches in, start stacking up the Conqueror. That's going to be great. An interesting trick you can do with the ultimate, which I think is really important, is that so if I click R on them, I'm going to start running at them, and then once I get in range for my R, it's just automatically going to do the R. We know that. That's how all abilities work in the game. But you can actually set up your R for the direction you want it by flashing during the middle of this. I can flash to the side, and instead of, you know, throwing them straight back that way, if my team's over here or something, I can actually redirect it by getting that flash as I'm walking up to him, which I think is something really important. Could be really useful, obviously kind of situational. A combo that a ton of streamers, YouTubers, all those guys have been doing recently. This is kind of the insect that Sett is able to do. It's a little bit complicated, but if you want more of an advanced Sett kind of combo, this is something you can do once you get it down. You're going to press E to knock them back, then start up your W, flash during your W, and then get the ultimate after that. Obviously, I didn't do that the fastest in the world. You can start to get that faster as you play Sett more and get that combo down. But it is actually a really reliable combo, especially in the top lane, in the mid lane, when you're really close to your tower or something. It's how you're going to be able to insect people and bring them under tower, but it's also going to be really useful at the beginning of team fights too. If somebody is mispositioned, if you can land that full combo on them, you can get them there. Obviously, that does require flash, but, you know, Lee Sin, players like that who have insects like that as well, those require flash. But it can still be a huge playmaking moment if you're able to catch someone out with a combo like that. And I think that is kind of the more complex Sett combo that you're able to set up. Again, as I said before, though, something else really important is, like, if you're in a team fight, say this is their tank, you're able to land your full combo onto him, you're able to drop him back, ult him onto their back line, and now this 80 carry, say this is slowed for 99%, your team is going to be able to run him over, absolutely take him out of the game. As far as Sett's position, runes, builds, all that stuff, that's something else I want to talk about. I think he is mainly going to be a top laner. He is a juggernaut. I see him mostly as like a Darius type champion, or even a Garen. I think a lot of people are kind of comparing him to, since he is so simple. He's not very mobile. He's going to have weaknesses. He's not going to be completely busted, but he is going to be a really easy champion to play. And depending on what his numbers are when he gets to live, he could be really strong. But since he is kind of that bruiser, juggernaut type champion, his rune pages are going to be pretty straightforward. I think Conqueror is for sure going to be the best on him until Conqueror gets nerfed. He's able to stack Conqueror really well with everything he can do, and the healing is going to be so nice for him. The additional damage is great. So I think a page like Conqueror, Triumph, Tenacity, Last Stand, Demolish, and Bone Plating is going to be the most standard Sett rune page, and one that you are going to be able to play into most matchups and do really well and be really successful in Season 10. So if you're looking for that, you have that option. Also, Grasp of the Undying, some people like if you decide to go more tank. Grasp, Demolish, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, Triumph, and Legend Tenacity, I think is going to be a great option for the more tanky style of Sett. If, for whatever reason, you don't like Conqueror, or certain matchups you want to go more tanky, if your team needs a bigger tank, that it's the less fighter, more tank version of the Sett build, which I think will be just fine. As far as builds go, I think a really standard build is going to be Trinity Force, Sterox, DMP, and then straight into tank, which that's really standard for Juggernaut, just a very normal Juggernaut build. Something I want to try out, since he doesn't have great wave clear, he doesn't have a ton of wave clear in his kit, his W and E are kind of high cooldown abilities that are not going to be a reliable wave clear. I think getting a Tiamat first item into Triforce, and then Titanic Hydra into Sterox into full tank is going to be a very interesting build. I don't know if it'll be the most optimal, but I think it has a chance to be, since his wave clear is super bad, especially into certain matchups. I think the Tiamat could be really useful. And then, of course, also there will always be like the Black Cleaver straight into full tank after that build if you do like to go more of the Grasp way. But I think that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. This is kind of my Sett guide. Everything you need to know about Sett before you decide to play him that first time in Season 10. This isn't a super in-depth guide. He's not out on the live servers yet, so it's tough to tell too much about Sett and what his final numbers are going to be, how strong he's going to be in the meta and all that stuff. But he's definitely going to be a playable champion. I definitely think if he's not strong right away, that he will be very, very soon in Season 10, because that's what Riot does with new champions. They want their new champions to get played. They want people to be excited about them. They want them to be strong. So definitely this is a champion you're going to want to pick up in Season 10. So now you have the combos, the abilities, the runes, the build, all that great stuff that you need to be set up for success in Season 10. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We have tons more League of Legends content coming your way. Educational stuff, interesting stuff, different kind of videos about different types of player strategies, all that great stuff, because we want you to succeed in Season 10. We want to see you become a better player. We want to see you achieve new heights and new ranks. I want to be a part of it. I want to help you out. And definitely you can help support me too by subscribing to my YouTube channel, checking out my Twitch, all that great stuff. But again, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully I see you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.